Most of us associate the holiday with happy pilgrims and Indians sitting down to a big feast, and that did happen once. The story began in 1614 when a band of English explorers sailed home to England with a ship full of Patuxet Indians bound for slavery. They left behind smallpox, which virtually wiped out those who escaped. By the time the Pilgrims arrived in Massachusetts Bay, they found only one living Patuxet Indian, a man named Squanto, who had survived slavery in England and knew their language. He taught them to grow corn and to fish, and negotiated a peace treaty between the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag Nation. At the end of the first year, the Pilgrims held a great feast honoring Squanto and the Wampanoags. But as the word spread in England about the paradise to be found in the New World, religious zealots called the Puritans began arriving by the boatload. Finding no fences around the land, they considered it to be public domain. Joined by other British settlers, they seized land, capturing strong young natives for slaves and killing the rest. But the Pequot nation had not agreed to the peace treaty Squanto had negotiated, and they fought back. The Pequot War was one of the bloodiest Indian wars ever fought. In 1637, near present day, Groton, Connecticut, over 700 men, women, and children of the Pequot tribe had gathered for their annual Green Corn Festival, which is our Thanksgiving celebration. In the pre-dawn hours, the sleeping Indians were surrounded by the English and Dutch mercenaries, who ordered them to come outside. Those who came out were shot or clubbed to death, while terrified women and children who huddled inside the longhouse were burned alive. The next day, the governor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony declared a day of Thanksgiving, because 700 unarmed men, women, and children had been murdered. Cheered by their victory, the brave colonists and their Indian allies attacked village after village. Women and children over 14 were sold into slavery, while the rest were murdered. Boats loaded with as many as 500 slaves regularly left the ports of New England. Bounties were paid for Indian scalps to encourage as many deaths as possible. Following an especially successful raid against the Pequot in what is now Stamford, Connecticut, the churches announced a second day of Thanksgiving to celebrate a victory over the heathen savages. During the feasting, the hacked-off heads of the natives were kicked through the streets like soccer balls. Even the friendly Wampanoag did not escape the madness. Their chief was beheaded and his head impaled on a pole in Plymouth, Massachusetts, where it remained on display for 24 years. The killings became more and more frenzied, with days of Thanksgiving feasts being held after each successful massacre. George Washington finally suggested that only one day of Thanksgiving per year be set aside of celebrating each and every massacre. Later, Abraham Lincoln decreed Thanksgiving Day to be a national legal holiday during the Civil War. On the same day, he ordered troops to march against the starving Sioux in Minnesota. The story doesn't have quite the same fuzzy feeling associated with it as the one where the Indians and Pilgrims are all sitting down together at a big feast. But we need to learn our true history so it won't ever be repeated. This Thanksgiving, when you gather with your loved ones to thank your Creator for all your blessings, think about the people who only wanted to live their lives and raise their families. They also took time out to say thank you for all their blessings.
All right. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahushua.
Barakatah Yahushua.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahushua.
Barakatah Yahushua.
Double honor to the apostles and the elders, and salutations to you brothers teaching in truth and in sincerity. This topic is going to be entitled "The Truth About Thanksgiving: Brainwashing of the American History Textbook." All right, it states my article is brokenmystic.org. wordpress.com. It states, those who are indigenous, how you say that? Indigenous to this land we call the United States of America have been long misrepresented and pushed out of American history textbooks in favor of glorifying those who now rule this nation and represent the dominant culture. What kind of democracy are we when education institutions and teachers refuse to mention the fact that 10 to 30 million natives were killed at the hands of European invasions and colonialism? What is the point of having a free market of ideals when selective and biased history is being taught to our children? There is no other way to put it, but erasing the memory of an entire race of people through distorted history is a systematic way of deceiving and lying to our children. Not only are we presented with biased history, but we are also subject to an ever-growing culture of capitalism in which commercialization of an ambiguous holiday merely pulls us away from facts and meaning. Turkeys are associated with Thanksgiving in the same way Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny have been synonymous with Christmas and Easter, respectively. Through the guise of innocence, capitalism is constantly telling us to consume because consumption equals happiness. Tomorrow is not Black Friday for nothing. And as children dress up as pilgrims and natives to reenact the romanticized version of history, they are not only perpetuating stereotypes, but more importantly, they are being embedded with lies. What do they really know about the pilgrims and the natives? Consider a high school history textbook called The American Tradition, which describes the scene. And this is direct quotes. After some exploring, the pilgrims chose the land around Plymouth Harbor for their settlement. Unfortunately, they had arrived in December and were not prepared for the New England winter. However, they were aided by friendly Indians who gave them food and showed them how to grow corn. When warm weather came, the colonists planted, fished, hunted, and prepared themselves for the next winter. After harvesting their first crop, they and their Indian friends celebrated the first Thanksgiving. Any precept?
You got something? Go ahead. All right, just going to the art, I was saying how, you know, this so-called white man basically made this holiday as basically it was just like a peaceful event with the so-called pilgrims and Native Americans. But you actually did down in history, you see that it was bloodshed. It was a whole bunch of slaughter. And this is yes. Okay. This Isaiah 60:1. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee.
Yeah, this light is the truth, man. And basically how's it shining, man, upon the Israelites who knows his knowledge, man, the elect men, man. And what do? They broadcast it on the highways and the byways trying to reach the potential elect as well.
For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people.
And all is lies, man. And what helps continue on with this gross darkness is these school systems, man, these American institutions, because what they do is they program your child to think one way. And once they teach you how to think, now they control how you feel.
The movies too,
yeah, go ahead.
Movies and cartoons, you know, about the reenacting how Thanksgiving was between the Pilgrims and the Indians. You know, not giving you the real deal, man. All that bloodshed, like the brother was talking about.
Correct. It says, for behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
And this is a living testimony of the scripture right here, man. Through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Al-Shai, we're shedding light on how Thanksgiving really went down. All right.
I got one, man. This Psalm 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Right, and this man has broken every treaty he established with our brethren, man, the Gadites, man. And he went, you know, because he made it seem like he was this friendly, peaceful guy, but at the end of the day, he wanted their land and their substance, man.
His word was softer than oil.
Yeah, because it sounds good, man. That's Esau today, man. Esau sell you a dream, man. He tells you what he's gonna do for you and how you're gonna progress in this society by the both of you working together. But it never works out like that.
Yet work they drawing swords.
And that goes to show, you know, because his legislation is nothing but. That's why his legislation is entitled draconian laws, man, because they're harsh and they're severe, man. All right, back into the article. Josh, you had something? Josh?
Yeah, I got it.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Mark chapter 7, verse 6, going to our people. And these holidays they celebrate. This is Yahushua speaking. He answered and said unto them, where have Isaiah prophesied of you hypocrites, as it is written, this people honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me.
Ooh. Yeah. You want to say something?
Man, yeah, because especially our people, man, they always say something like, yeah, we just doing this for the family. You know what I'm saying? But you tell them the actual meaning of Thanksgiving, the origin of it, or the other so-called holidays, they're like, yeah, we just doing it for family time. But you say you love God and stuff like that, but I mean, according to the scripture, you're not supposed to celebrate these holidays because they go back to satanic rituals and things of that sort.
That's right, God.
Verse 7. Howbeit, in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men.
And so when you give out these turkeys and saying you're doing it for God and Jesus, man, that's in vain, man. Because the real power, whose name is Yahweh and his son is Yahushua, they don't get down like that, man. And that turkey drive, another form of that came derived from this fucking New Jack City movie, Nino Brown, man. You know, because a lot of you so-called gangsters who per se made it out the hood, y'all think that's the thing to do once you come up, man.
And then verse 8, and this the point. For laying aside the commandment of the Most High, you hold the tradition of men as the washing of pots and cups and many other such like things ye do.
So Thanksgiving is nothing but a tradition of man, which was established by Esau, man. And he's blinded our people to follow this madness as well, man.
And it say you put down the commandments of the Most High and follow the traditions of men. You would rather keep celebrating Thanksgiving and all the other pagan holidays and cast away the commandments of the Most High. You know, you rather do that than to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. Not eating certain foods, not getting no line, growing your beard out, not messing with another man or woman, you know. But you rather live by the commandments of the men, the commandments of the guys of this world, man, so-called white men.
But hold on, since it's going to be a direct quote.
This from Red Cloud, and he was the chief of the Dakota tribe. And he says, they made us many promises, but they kept only one. They promised to take our land, and they did. So it's going back to the scripture the brother brought out, how they words are smoother than butter. You know what I'm saying? But basically, war is in their heart.
That's right, Ayashiar.
This Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit.
Right. And they pushing that Thanksgiving shit hard in your churches too, man. You know, that's another avenue to keep you separated from Yahweh Shem Al-Shai, man. And that goes back to your religious leaders as well, man. You know?
I can say this, Like I say this, they emphasize on one day of you being thankful, but the Apostle Paul said you supposed to pray without ceasing, man. You know, be thankful in all things, man, all the time, man. You know, so they emphasize that one day, like it's something special about being thankful on this day, man. But each and every day, you open your eyes, man, you supposed to be thankful, man. The Lord give you another chance to seek Him, to become a better brother, you know, to learn more about His Word, man. But y'all emphasize that on one damn day, man, you know.
Come on, man, because like the brother saying, that's what Esau do, man. He'll basically set something up to like it's happy and glorious for you, but at the same time, he'll have you celebrating something and be mocking you, man. You know what I'm saying? Just like Thanksgiving, they slaughtered our people. Then you got Black Friday, which you know, ain't nothing wrong with going to basically shit on sale. Go catch the sales, man, on stuff you need, but if you understand the history of Black Friday, they used to basically the thing used to be, the sale used to be on slave. You buy one, get one half out, man. That's what the whole Black Friday started on, man. So just going back to the scripture the brother read, basically in Isaiah, man, gross darkness have covered our people, man. But we here to shed that light, man. You know, the light can shine upon certain men, man. You know, and we here to let it be known. I had that brothers good. I'm gonna get that word, that gross. I had looked up that word, gross darkness. And one of the main definitions was, you know, the scripture you read in Isaiah 6. One of the main definitions was obscure. And I went into dictionary.com, and the word for obscure, which this going to the definition of gross darkness should cover the people. It means not clear to the understanding, hard to perceive, obscure motivations. Then it go
like I said,
not clear to the understanding.
Not clear to the understanding. So if you don't know the origin of these holidays, man, then basically you're in gross darkness, man. Because they dress it up like the brother Akim was saying as a glorious occasion, man. But when you actually dig down and get to the root of the matter, man, that shit is wicked, man.
All right. Celebrating your downfall.
You celebrate your fucking downfall, man.
Didn't say hard to perceive.
So basically, because of these institutions, man, and then once you get indoctrinated, when a prophet comes to you, if the spirit is not upon you to understand, you're not going to be able to perceive what's going on, man. Why? Because basically you've been indoctrinated within this system.
Yeah, because Thanksgiving is a religion. When you look at that word religion and go back, if I'm not mistaken, religio, it's a Latin word based to bind down. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I'm not going to bro.
And just make the point, like the brother, in the spirit that the brother said, bow down. Because me and the brother did a video about Matthew 11:28, man. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, you know, because these holidays is a burden, man. You know, Thanksgiving, you got to go, you got to worry about cooking all this food. You got to worry about getting kids haircuts, hair did. You got to worry about getting your hair did, buying the outfit to impress the people that you grew up with your whole life, man. You know, that's just a baby form of oppression, man. You know, and along with the rest of the holidays, man.
This is the last definition.
Go ahead, Art.
I'm going to let the brother bring out the precept. This is obscure, which this is like the definition that basically goes into that dark gross. It said implies a hiding or veiling of meaning through some inadequacy of expression or withholding of full knowledge.
And veil, man.
Yup. And that's that gross darkness, man. You know?
Hey, I got something you were saying about that. They don't want to.
Yeah, get yours.
Good one.
You had something. You had something. Yeah, get yours.
This is Amos Amos 5:20-21. I despise your feast days.
And then I shall how about Shema Shah. And your feast days, not via, but example giving, Thanksgiving. Go ahead.
And we supposed to be ambassadors of Yahushua, basically representatives, so we supposed to hate it too.
That's right. That's right. That's the image of Yahushua.
Right. This goes into it that implies a hiding or veiling meaning through some inadequacy of expression or withholding of full knowledge, man.
I see.
Right, cause that's how they got us, man.
Hey, I'm Salaki, but who's withholding that full knowledge? The elite. You know? Because they know.
Right.
And then the guys that's basically like your ambassadors of these college institutions, they know as well, man.
And now it's pushed, like the brother was saying, it's pushed through the elites, and they push it in they school system, but they push it basically through their whole democracy, man.
That's right.
Their whole democratic system they got set up, so it's just pushed around you no matter where you go, man. Like you going through your day-to-day, wherever you at, man, they got to they already got the enchantments and indoctrinations around you, man. You gonna start hearing the holiday songs. You know what I'm saying? All that shit start fucking with your spirit, man. You start hearing that shit. We know the truth now, so we be like, damn, that shit'll still get in your spirit. You know the truth. You have to be like, man, this some fucking bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? But Esau knows that, man. But going back to that, holding the full knowledge. You gotta know what you celebrate, man. You know, cause just like it's a different female that I be dealing with, and I be like, well, just okay, well, just look up I tell my family, well, just look up the origin of the holiday and see what it really means. They don't even want to do it, man. Yeah, you know. But you got it, bro.
Hey, if I could just add what you're saying, because you know, you said when you hear these holiday songs and shit, how it fucks with you. That's how you know you've been indoctrinated. Because even now, I still hear that same fucking Thanksgiving song when I was in the 2nd and 3rd grade. Turkey and dressing on the table. Sweet pumpkin pie is mighty fine. Right. Brothers and sisters, our aunts and uncles, Thanksgiving is a family time. And that shit continues to replay in my fucking head like a fucking jukebox, man.
That's why the Lord got to save us out of this. Man. That's why he say, if he don't cut the days short, no flesh should be saved, man. Because if we stay here long enough, eventually we going to get fucking, you know what I'm saying? This shit going to destroy us, man.
Right.
You know?
Right. Go ahead, bro.
This Amos 5:21. I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
So when you go into church and you're assembling for Thanksgiving, when you're doing these turkey drives, when you're going out there trying to feed the homeless and shit on Thanksgiving Day, the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Ashah is not with you. All right?
I had so back with Yahshua bring it out.
Go ahead.
Isaiah 6:9. It says, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not.
Right, man. So when we tell our people and they don't understand, man, now that light has risen upon us and we know the truth, man, we don't get that bent out of shape no more. When we first come to the truth, man. No matter how many brothers tell you, look, don't tell this. It's automatic gonna be in your spirit. You gonna tell the people, man, because all the prophets done it. Ezra was like that, man. You know what I'm saying? Most of the prophets Paul was like that. He said his prayers there for Israel to be saved. Then he came back was like, they ain't gonna get it, man. Only election gonna obtain it, and the rest is blinded, man. But you know, going back to that scripture, we tell our people they don't understand. We understand the scriptures. We understand the prophecy, man. So, hey, we know that, man.
That's right.
You know?
Verse 10, make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed.
Convert is with truth. And it's literally an angel of Yahweh Hashem Ashah. Everything you say to that potential person, and if that person is not meant to get it, then the angel is preventing that person from the understanding, man.
Yeah, it's that veil, that spiritual veil. Verse 11, then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate.
I'm gonna get the precept for that. Would you finish your scripture?
Oh yeah, I'm done.
Okay, I'm gonna get the quick precept for that.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm gonna get back into ours.
Okay. It's Romans chapter 11, verse 7. It said, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for.
What you're seeking for? You're seeking for the truth, man.
But the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Men that are predestined, you know, from the beginning of the foundation of the earth to understand this truth. The man that who assists in Yahweh Shai to form this world, man.
Verse 8, according as it is written, the Most High has given them the spirit of slumber.
So you can't say that, you know, people just don't understand. The reason why people don't understand because it's summoned by Yahweh Hashem El Shai.
Eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, until this day.
Yeah, until this very day, 2/3 of our people have eyes.